What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I want to be comparing the specs of the Samsung Galaxy S5 to the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So both of these are very popular lines for Samsung, the Galaxy S series as well as the Note series. And there's going to be lots of people who are going to be confused as to which one to go for, the S5 or the Note 3. And hopefully this video will help you find the key differences between these two. So what is different and which is the better device for you? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out in this head-to-head spec comparison. So let's start off with the size, which is the biggest noticeable difference between these two. The Note 3 is a phablet, is considered a phablet, so it is larger, 9.2mm in height, 6.7mm in width, and 0.2mm in terms of thickness. So not a huge deal larger, but it is definitely larger compared to the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now the reason for that is that it's got a larger screen. You've got a 5.7-inch screen on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 compared to a 5.1-inch screen on the Samsung Galaxy S5. So you do have a larger screen with more real estate on the Note 3. Resolution wise, both of these have the same resolution at 1920 by 1080, so full HD on both of these devices. However, the Samsung Galaxy S5, because it's a smaller screen with the same amount of pixels, you've got better pixel density, so you've got roughly about 432 ppi compared to the 386 ppi on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Nothing major, you're not really going to notice much of a difference in terms of ppi between these two. Now in terms of the differences in screen size, it does come down to your personal preference. If you're somebody who likes a larger screen, yes, you have to carry around a larger device, but you may just eliminate the need for having a tablet. The S5 does have an advanced adaptive display that they were saying, so depending on where you are, it's going to be able to really dim down the device or really brighten it up, say for instance when you're in sunlight. So that's another advanced feature that the S5 screen does have. Now because the Note 3 is larger, it also weighs a little bit more, 23 grams more compared to the Samsung Galaxy S5. And in terms of the build material, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has a leather style back. So now this isn't leather, it's plastic made to look and feel like leather, and it's got some stitching as well to represent a notebook. This is quite nice actually, I do like it. It feels really nice in the hand, it's quite grippy. The Samsung Galaxy S5, they've tried to go with something similar to this, but it's not a leather style, it's more of a dimpled texture, so it's soft touch. So it does feel similar to the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Now one thing to note is both of these do have removable backs, so you may have an option to switch the back covers and get something else that you like if you don't particularly like the one that it comes with. The one thing that the S5 does have that the Note 3 doesn't is that the S5 is IP67 water and dust resistant. So you can easily get it into a splash, you can probably drop some water on it and you're not going to have no problems. You can't do that with the Note 3. Now moving on to the internals, both of these are running some very high spec internals. The Note 3 comes with a Snapdragon 800 processor, which is 2.3 GHz quad core. The S5 comes with a 2.5 GHz quad core processor, so it is clocked at higher speed. And because the S5 is newer, it's sort of expected that you're going to be getting a bit of a bump in terms of the clock speed, but in terms of performance, we'll have to put these side by side. Now the Note 3 is also available in an octa-core version. This is for the international markets. I'm not sure if they're going to have one for the S5, they've not announced one yet. There may be an octa-core version later on, but for now it is just a quad-core version. Now in terms of the RAM, the Samsung Galaxy S5 comes with 2GB of RAM. The Samsung Galaxy Note 3 comes with 3GB of RAM. So now this is one of the only smartphones with 3GB of RAM, and that is mainly to take advantage of some of the advanced multitasking capabilities that the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has. Now the different storage versions available, the Samsung Galaxy S5 comes in either 16 or 32GB storage versions. You've not got a 64GB anymore. The Note 3 comes in either 32 or 64GB versions. So straight from the base you're going to have a lot more storage on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Both of these do have expandable storage as well, microSD up to 64GB. This is something great on Samsung devices. Most Samsung devices out there will let you have expandable storage, so you're not stuck with what you initially get. Now moving on to the cameras, the Note 3 has a 13 megapixel camera, probably one of the best cameras of 2013. The S5 builds on that and you've got a 16 megapixel camera now, so it's got more megapixels and it's also apparently a larger sensor. There's also lots of new features, just to mention a few on the S5. You've got fast autofocus. Now this uses contrast as well as phase detection, which is something that you usually find on DSLRs. And autofocus time, they're saying, is 0.3 seconds, which is super fast for a smartphone. And you've also got real-time HDR, so before you take a picture you can see exactly how it's going to look in HDR. Traditionally you'd have to take a picture and you'd have to wait for it to process in HDR. but with the Samsung Galaxy S5 you can take videos and pictures, and what you see is what you're going to get in HDR. You've also got selective focus on the Samsung Galaxy S5, so after you've taken a picture you can blur out the background and make it look like a shot that's been taken on a DSLR. Now in terms of the actual difference between these two, we'll have to put them side by side once the Samsung Galaxy S5 is in-house, so if you do want to see those side-by-side comparisons, be sure to subscribe to see them first. Now the video, both of these have a similar video capabilities, 1080p at 60 frames a second, as well as 4K Ultra HD, so that's 2160p at 30 frames a second. So both of these phones support 4K video, so recording 4K on smartphones is absolutely insane, and I absolutely love the fact that you can do it on both of these smartphones. The Note 3 does come with 720p at 120 frames a second for slow motion. I believe this is also on the S5. They've not mentioned anything as yet, but I believe it's also on the S5 because the video capabilities are pretty similar on both sides. Front-facing cameras both have 2 megapixel front-facing cameras capable of filming 1080p, so pretty similar here. Now moving on to the operating systems, both of these are running Android. The Samsung Galaxy S5 is going to come with the latest version of Android, KitKat 4.4.2 out of the box. The Note 3 I believe is currently on KitKat as well. The update is now available, so if you do want to update onto KitKat 4.4.2 you can do on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Now both of these have the TouchWiz interface on top of Android, but the Samsung Galaxy S5 has a newer version of TouchWiz. It's a bit more flat. I'm sure this will be coming to the Note 3 soon as well, because Note 3 is still pretty recent, so I'm sure you'll be getting the latest version of TouchWiz on the Note 3 as well, but right now the S5 will have all the latest features. Now looking at some of the new key features that differentiate both of these, with the Samsung Galaxy S5 you do have Wi-Fi MIMO technology, so that's going to give you super fast Wi-Fi. You've also got a fingerprint scanner now, so you can scan your fingerprint to unlock the device and also make payments on PayPal and things. Now this is on the home button and you have to swipe down in order to use it, so we'll have to see how well it works in hand, but that's a new feature that's on here. And you've also got a heart rate monitor, so you can measure your heart rate by putting your finger underneath the camera. There's a sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S5, so some new advanced features here. Now the Note 3 comes with the S Pen, so now that's something unique with the Note 3. You're going to be able to do lots of different things, advanced multitasking, you can draw windows and things and those will pop up, and you've got lots of other features which use the S Pen, which make the Note 3 unique from lots of other smartphones. Now moving on to the batteries, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has a 3200 mAh battery, the Samsung Galaxy S5 has a 2800 mAh battery. Now both of these are removable, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has a larger battery because it's a larger body, so you can fit a larger battery into it. The S5 however is supposed to have a better stamina, so it's supposed to be 20% better than the Samsung Galaxy S4, and it's also got an ultra power saving mode which is going to switch pretty much everything off and give you a black and white screen just so you can use the phone and really extend the battery in emergencies. Now finally, looking at the price, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, right now you can pick it up off contract for roughly about $650 or around about £500 here in the UK, and that's for the 32GB base version. The Samsung Galaxy S5, there's no confirmed reports in terms of the price, but I'd expect it to be roughly between £600 to £650 here in the UK, or between $700 to $750 in the US. Those are the usual flagship prices when the Galaxy device is released. Now when is it going to release? Well, they're saying April, early April time. 11th of April is the date that they're saying, so hopefully you'll be able to get hold of a Samsung Galaxy S5 on the 11th of April 2014. So there we have it, the Samsung Galaxy S5 versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. The Note 3 has already been very popular. No doubt the Samsung Galaxy S5 is also going to be very popular. Now both of these are at the high end of the smartphones out there and have some of the best internals out there as well. There are a few differences. The Note 3 has the larger screen with the advanced multitasking and the S Pen, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S5 is dust and water resistant. It's got the fingerprint scanner and the heart rate monitor and lots of these other features. So it really depends on what you prefer. Which one do you prefer? Which one will you be going for? Which one do you think is better? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up in here, including a full S5 review when it is out. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've not done one of those things, so you know, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go downstairs. See. Okay, there isn't really a downstairs. Anyway, so yeah.